Alright, so Chris Eubank Jr. just got TKO'd by Liam Smith. Now, coming into this fight, there was a lot of shit talking going on by Chris Eubank Jr. And if anybody's seen my channel, you know that I like Chris Eubank Jr. A big reason is because I really like his dad. I went back and I watched a lot of his dad's old fights. And I also saw that tournament that he was in where he lost to George Groves. And I was rooting for him then. But the thing about this fight is I don't know what Chris Eubank Jr. can really do from here. He's pretty much shown that his skill level he pretty much shows that his ceiling is probably as like a really good domestic level fighter. I don't see him beating Charlo. I don't see him beating Canelo Alvarez. I don't see him beating Jaime Munguía. I don't see him beating someone like David Benavidez. I don't see him beating even at this age. I don't see him beating Gennady Golovkin. Honestly, I think he's just a pretty good domestic level fighter. This fight with Liam Smith kind of showed that. I think his biggest weakness is the fact that his defense isn't very good. You know, he typically relies a lot on his athleticism, a lot like Roy Jones Jr. for defense, but he's not as athletically gifted. That's nothing against him. No one that I've seen damn near in boxing is athletically gifted as Roy Jones Jr. And he's pretty much getting to that age where your reflexes start slowing down, your punch resistance starts to go down, and without him being able to rely on his athleticism, I don't really know if there's a way for him to really compete at an elite level, or if there's any way for him to really be able to grab a championship belt at his current state. So I don't know. I mean, I came into this fight, you know, expecting. I had my snacks ready. I was sitting on the couch. I had my little scorecard here. I was like doing my scorecard on a little piece of scrap paper. And actually, on my scorecard, I have Liam Smith winning the first 2 rounds. I have Chris Eubank Jr. winning the third because he had that sequence where he was just tagging Liam Smith and he was getting through his guard with the jab, and then he started like really hitting through his guard with the uppercut several times, and it looked like he was kind of doing well that third round. But you know, that fourth round he came out, Liam Smith came out aggressive again. He got into Chris Eubank Jr.'s range. Chris Eubank Jr. really didn't have anything to stop him from getting into range. He really didn't have effective footwork. He really didn't have enough reflexes to keep him off with the head movement. He got caught. He went down. The ref gave him the benefit of the doubt, let him continue the fight. Then he went at, even though he was clearly buzzed, even though he was clearly still kind of out of it from that initial knockdown, then, you know, Liam Smith, being the veteran that he is, went ahead and closed the show. There's really not much that I can say about that. But yeah, at this stage in his career, if he's going to fight like that, it's just not going to work because he's an athletically gifted fighter, but he's not like a super athlete. You know, he's not Roy Jones Jr. So he's going to have to start putting his hands up. He's going to have a more fundamentally sound fighting style. That's really the only way for him to move forward, because there's guys who are more athletic than him, like Charlo, more athletic than him, like Jaime Munguía, more athletic than him. You know, I wouldn't say so much Gennady Golovkin, but Gennady Golovkin's got a hell of a chin and he hits hard. So if Chris Eubank Jr. thinks he's just gonna dip and dodge and keep his hands down, when Gennady Golovkin gets close to him, I don't see him winning that fight either. And of course, Canelo's just an all-around, you know, just better fighter than him. And that's nothing against Chris Eubank Jr. Like, I like Chris Eubank Jr. I like the Eubank family. I like his swag. I like his approach to boxing. How he's like full throttle anytime he's in a press conference. He don't give a damn. I like all of that. He's a very entertaining fighter. He's a very entertaining personality. I just think that he's reached as far as he could possibly go in the sport, for me. And honestly, he didn't do himself any favors taking that Conor Benn fight and losing all that weight in that amount of time, which really put a lot of damage on his body, which he shouldn't have done at the age that he's at. But yeah, I think that he could maybe pull off a win against Liam Smith if he changes some things, or at least make the fight more competitive. But I don't see him, you know, beating the Canelos, beating the Charlos, beating the Jaime Munguias, beating the Sanchez's of the world. I just think this is about, oh my God. And then Sebastian Fedor, he's on his way up there too. Yeah, Sebastian Fedor is on his way up there. And when Errol Spence moves up, the smaller Charlo twin is on his way up there as well. So yeah, but like I said, I definitely didn't see him getting knocked out. I really thought it was gonna be kind of like a split decision victory for either him or Liam Smith. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say about that. Oh yeah. But yeah, that's all I really did. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say about that. I'm hoping to see him back in the ring. Hopefully they have a rematch and it goes a little bit better for him. But like I said, I think this is kind of the end of the road for him becoming like undisputed or a big champion. Like, I don't think anyone ever saw him like at this point in his career ever reaching those goals. But I think this kind of puts the nail in the coffin in regards to that. But that's, all I got to say about that. It was good speaking to y'all. Y'all have a great day, and like and subscribe to my channel if you want to. I don't know.